Well, hey guys, it's Catherine. Thanks for hanging with me last week during the stamp of approval release. That was so much fun. We sold out in just about a day and a half, which was incredible to watch. And even more incredible is the excitement from you guys. Wow, you guys give me so much energy when you get excited about what we're doing, the products and the projects and the designers. And then when I see you guys get these goodies in your hands and make awesome stuff, oh, it's just awesome. So let's see, ordering started on Wednesday and people were getting their boxes on Friday already. I live on the East Coast in North Carolina, and some people in California got their box in 2 days. I was in shock. That is awesome. Woo! For my shipping center, it's Guardian, and they are in Durham, North Carolina, and I am singing their praises because they are doing us right? So I was wondering if you guys saw the Periscope that Allison did last week with Stamp of Approval. It was really cool. She had a few mood boards out, and she was asking which one, on Periscope, she said, which one should I do? And everybody voted. So she used the one that got the most votes, and then she said, which card base should I use? Like this one or like, I don't know. And so everybody voted along the way. It was really a fun project video to watch. So I think I'm going to be inspired by her card, and I'm going to make something based off the inspiration from that. Speaking of inspiration, we are bringing back Inspiration Nation. A couple years ago, we did a week-long event based off mood boards. Nude boards? Whoops. So we're going to do a whole week-long event based on mood boards. We did this a couple years ago and it was a hit. It was really fun. It was very inspirational, and amazing projects were made from that. So yeah, that's going to be happening next week on Stamp Nation. All right, so yeah, that's it. Let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is cut the top panel that's going to go on my card. Allie had an angled piece, and I'm going to do that with this die. This is a scallop rectangle, and we're just going to lay it on here and run it through. I'm just doing my plate so that it hits this bottom where it's going to actually cut out. I'm not doing the plate up here because I don't want the indents from that die to go into my paper. And this is a journal card birthday die from the Stamp of Approval, the one that came out in February, the birthday collection. It will be available later this year. So that is a cool little shape right there. Now the first thing I'm going to do is some stamping on here. And as long as I've had this stamp, I've wanted to do some clear emboss resist with some distress inks, and I haven't gotten around to it yet. So I think this is the perfect time. I think this is begging for this stamp. And if you missed it, the Stamp of Approval collection just released last week. We sold out very quickly, and this was one of the stamp sets in it. It will be available later this summer. So let's see, I think I'm just going to do those two, and we'll cover it with some clear embossing powder. We'll add some heat, melt that powder, and when you're doing clear embossing powder, it's kind of hard to see, so just kind of hold it up in the light. I kind of move back and forth until I see that embossing powder turn shiny and not powdery, and that's how I know it's done, and it's time to move my heat tool along the rest of the image. Blue and orange is one of my favorite color combinations, so I was excited to see Allie use that combination. So we're going to use some tumbled glass here. We're just going to sponge it right on top, and that embossed image resists the color and stays white. I knew this was going to look awesome. We'll go and do the other side. I'm kind of debating between doing the entire piece kind of solid, or if I want to just fade out to a light blue. And I guess I'm doing darker on this side. And maybe I'll fade to a light blue down toward the tip. So I'm pulling out the Enchanted Garden stamp set. I've already cut out the dies, and I'll just stamp with Memento because I'm going to do some Copic coloring. I am not an expert Copic colorist. I have taken the Copic workshops, the beginner and intermediate actually. I took the intermediate class twice, but shh, don't tell anybody. I still don't feel like an expert by any stretch of the imagination, but I just try to stick with simple Copic coloring, and usually I get a pretty fun result. Now, this one little die from the Enchanted Garden dies, I think is so stinking cute. And I actually haven't used it yet. Can you believe that? I'm not sure if it's gonna do right in the middle of this. Do right? I don't know. We'll see when I get this all put together, but it's made to cut out the center of this flower here, and I just think it's so cute because it has the two little pieces to it. So I'm going to grab my Copics. Let's see, we're using our YR09 and 02. So I'll just lay down that light color. I didn't get my stamping perfectly on here. Not gonna worry about it. Alright, then it's really easy just to fill in the little stripies on this flower with a darker color, and you have such a cute little flower. You can do this with water-based markers, because I'm not blending, I'm just drawing. So really any markers you have, it's going to be really easy. Not using those Copic coloring skills I was taught on this card. Now I'm going to see what this looks like. I'm going to color. Let's see, this is a darker one. Let's go with darker for the center and the lighter on the outside. Well, I don't know, this is BG45 and this is BG15, so actually they're almost the same color. The 5 is how dark it is, and they're both 5s. And then the 1 and the 4 are for how like muted or grayed down they are. And one is a 1, and this one's a 1, and this is a 4. I'll just add a little liquid glue to the center and pop these right on there. And then we'll pull in what we've got going on so far. I cut out the same U that Allison used on her card. I punched this out a while ago. It was just sitting on my desk. The U in gold, and I think it looks really pretty. Now here's how our card is starting to shape up. I did a third one to kind of peek out from underneath because Allison had something like that on her card. And also I wanted to do, you know, the rule of thirds. It looks better when you have 3 things going on, so your eye kind of travels. So I thought one more of those little flowers would help that along. And then I'm going to do You Have My Heart, so I'll just stamp that right on here. I want to do a couple little hearts from the same stamp set. This is the All About You stamp set that was in the Beautiful World collection also. So we'll just do a couple of hearts, little black hearts. That always makes me crack up. When was it? I did another video where I did black hearts and I just totally cracked up. Whenever somebody is rude or like has a little tantrum or something in our house, we joke about them having a black heart. It makes me laugh. They look cute though, don't they? So we'll just add a little liquid glue to the U, adhere it on, assemble. And then this one will just stick right under the layer. I want to add a little bit of teal to this since I have some teal in the center. So I'm just going to start sponging with peacock feathers right up in the corner. Darken that up. I love how I'm doing this after I have all these flowers on here. What the heck? I had a lot of different thoughts for my background here, but in the end, I'm just deciding to go plain. I'm just keeping a white background, and that's it. Now, if you're on YouTube, make sure you head over to my blog so you can see all the photos and also see Allie's. Link is below. I'll add the link to Allie's as well. You gotta see her Periscope. It was so much fun. Thanks for being here, guys. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you soon. Last week was an awesome week with the release of Stamp of Approval. Woo! Went on sale on Wednesday and people were getting their boxes on Thursday. Not Thursday, Friday. 2 days. So mood board.